The other thing also, how do you feel about if an artist, someone that sticks true to their form, like let's say Nas, Jay, you know, people like that, and you know, they're still coming out. I mean, of course they're not doing what they used to, but they're still putting up some pretty decent numbers for the climate that we're in. Do you think that the quality of music and the substance in the music, you know, if an artist really sticks to that they'll be able to break what's going on right now as far as low sales?
Well, I think honestly the music business is over. That's to be. It's gonna have to. People are gonna have to find another way to make it happen, much like a Jay with his deal. It then becomes a situation where now it's more than just making my album, because artists got spoiled back then. They're like, okay, I made my album, fuck y'all. No, I'm not doing no interview. No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. Well, that's no longer enough, because, okay, if you make the album and that's it, well, guess what? You ain't gonna see what you saw 5 years ago. You damn sure ain't gonna see what you saw 10 or 15 years ago. Not gonna happen. What's gonna have to happen is, I do hope that the fans that these artists do have really help support them. But at the same time, the artists have to support the people too, by doing shows, by doing interviews, by giving people more access to them. And that's how people ultimately feel that, all right, that's why I want to support this person. Because right now, to go to the store to buy somebody's shit, it's a fucking headache.
Yeah.
You gotta get it in your mind, all right, I'm heading outside. I gotta get dressed. It might be snowing outside. Now I gotta brave the snow. I gotta spend money in gas. I gotta take the time. I gotta go. Hopefully they got this shit. They may not even have this shit when I go.
Yeah, right.
And you gotta wait in line for it. And then you gotta go all the way back home. This is a process that you now have to go to, versus hitting a couple of keystrokes on your computer, sitting back in your underwear, and fucking 15 minutes later you got the shit before you can get it in the store.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
And artists they have to really understand that now they have to work harder to get less than what they were getting before. When you have that movement and you have people who are really fans of what you do, they support you in other ways. They'll come out and they'll see you at the show. But again, you got to be thinking about your fans too. So when you have that date, you honor that date. You know the venue is shutting down at fucking 12 o'clock. Don't show up at fucking 11:30, 11:45, because the people are there to support you as the artist. So I think, you know, with all that being said, I hope that the people who have given us music that hip-hop fans, I mean real hip-hop fans, have loved for all these years, continue to do so. And I hope that helps make a lane for other people who are trying to make that music. Because unfortunately, in today's climate, Nas couldn't have just came out with Hip Hop Is Dead as his first album, trying to say what he said. De La Soul couldn't just come out with an album like, yo, we're brand new on the block right now, and have the fan base that they have, or get the notoriety. It just can't happen, because these artists have equity in the game. This is why people still pay attention to them. This is why people still want to Tribe Called Quest to get back together and make good music again. But it's not like they could drop something today for the first time, nobody ever heard of them, and anybody's really be interested.
Yeah.
Because it's going against the grain so much of what we got today.
Exactly. So,
but like I said, I'm hoping that people get the chance to hear like the newer breed, like the Little Brothers and the people who are coming up after them.
Exactly. Now, what do you think was a prime year for hip hop in your opinion? One of your favorites?
Well, I mean, there's so many. I think some people that go unnoticed or unappreciated. I think the top two got to be Luke and MC Hammer. And the reason why I say these two is because a lot of times people forget. Like, we remember, of course, like, you know, the real, like, old school originators and pioneers of, you know, your Grandmaster Flashes, your Melly Mel's, your Cool. But when you take, for instance, a dude like Luke. Luke had to take the fight all the way to the Supreme Court and win. Nobody before had done that.
Yeah, that's right.
And had he lost that fight, what would we have seen, you know, afterwards? Because of him, people like NWA were able to come out and say, fuck the police, and we niggas with attitude. You know, everybody was able to say whatever they wanted without having to worry about it. Because back in the day, Luke was going to jail for fucking his record. For his record.
Yeah.
Not even because he said on record, like, I'm going to shoot somebody, or I sold crack, or this and that. He went because somebody felt like what he's talking about was too vulgar on a sexual tip. And again, he took it all the way to the Supreme Court. So he got to go down as one of the pioneers, because again, the whole scape of music would be completely different right now. And then also, too, the reason why I say Hammer is because as much as he was crucified and vilified by hip-hop lovers, everything that he did back in the day is what people are dying to try to do today. Hammer had a fucking cartoon. He had a fucking deal with Taco Bell. Yeah. He had fucking the biggest shows. He had fucking dancers. He had background singers. He was doing stadiums, and niggas hated him for it.
Yep.
But of course, you move into the future, everybody, that's what they want to do. Hammer was Diddy before Diddy was Diddy.
Still can't figure out how he went bankrupt, though, after all that, man.
Oh, but hey, you know, it's one of those things, man. You never think that it's going to be over.
Yeah.
You know, and he was at the top, man. Like, yo, he was the first dude that, and again, we're not talking about the quality of the music. We're not talking about whether or not the hip-hop aesthetics were true, but we're just talking about the simple scope of what this man was able to do with rap music. And it was amazing, especially at the time. I mean, he was breaking all kind of records. He was on the pop charts, things that nobody hip-hop-wise had done up until that point. And not only that, but even to take it a step further, his business model was so dope. And a lot of people don't even understand that the things that he tried to do and where his mind was at on an independent level still are people only now trying to do what he was trying to do back in the day.
Wow.
You know, so all this independent. Hammer was kicking all that game back then, because Oakland, where he was from, their whole scene was so advanced and it was so self-supportive that they were like, man, fuck all these major labels on. You know, let's do this shit like this.
Yeah.